Hello, and welcome to Assisting Elections, where today I'm going to be continuing my series looking at the possible vice presidential candidates for the Democratic Party, and I essentially go through what might happen if a certain candidate is the nominee, and what the electoral map could look like, and what influence they would have on the electoral map come November. And today I'm going to be looking at Val Demings. She is the current representative for Florida's 10th congressional district. And before that, she was also the police chief of Orlando for a couple of years, and she had quite a long history back in the Orlando Police Department. And she gained, uh, some notoriety as she was selected as one of the impeachment managers in the Senate trial of the current president Donald Trump. And ever since then, she's been a rising figure in the Democratic Party, especially given the George Floyd incident and the protests, you know, following that, and the distrust of the Democrats, especially the Democrats, but America as a whole, of policing institutions and privileges. She could be seen as a definite good pick to help sue uh, smooth over police relations, which have definitely deteriorated heavily in the last couple of months. With her experience of being a police chief and 27 years, I believe, in policing. So, uh, as you can see, I've filled in all the safe states for the Democrats and Republicans, 125 to 190, and I'm just going to be filling in the likely Democratic seat. There we go. Likely Democratic states, and this would be Nevada, Colorado, Minnesota, New Hampshire, and I think those are the ones. Yeah, those are the ones I would characterize as likely, given she's a you know I think any candidate has a likely chance of winning this because Joe Biden can definitely bring out some voters in all of these areas. He did well in the Nevada caucus. Definitely gained some ground on the poll showing in New Hampshire and Iowa, and the rest of the and west of all these states definitely have been trending Democratic very recently. So I don't see any candidate really influencing any more than a safe state or a lean state. So these will all fall in the likely column, and I can't see any other state falling in the likely column at this point. And Republican likely states have to hand Texas, Iowa, yeah, Texas and Iowa into that category. Oh, I forgot Virginia. Yeah, Virginia as well, characterized as a likely state. But yeah, this is the only two Republican likely states I can see. The rest are definitely going to be a lot more competitive in this election, or at least this time in the election. So yeah, Texas and Iowa definitely not much of an effect for Val Demings in those areas. She doesn't have much of a link. None of them have a large black population. You could argue Texas in the urban areas, but Texas is a very large state, and you know a lot of rural population is definitely going to sway the vote towards the Republicans. However, that is diminishing as the years go by. Now we're going to be going over to the lean Democratic states, and I think I'd put all the Rust Belt states in this at the time being. Possibly Wisconsin could be a tilt given Val Demings, but I think Joe Biden can definitely. If anything, I'll probably put Michigan as a likely at this point. But Val Demings can definitely only add to the large black population centers in cities like um, Philadelphia, Detroit, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and hopefully get a voter turnout, which would definitely favour the Democrats. And at this point, they have already won the electoral vote margin, 270 needed to win, and we've still got five other states to characterise. I'm also going to be going over to the lean. I think the only lean Republican uh, state is not even a state; would be Maine's second district. Donald Trump won by such a large margin there, and he's gained and he's held on to most of his core voters who would definitely vote for him over in Maine. And Val Demings is not going to add anything that Joe Biden would. And I think Maine's second district, almost no matter what candidate, will be going to Donald Trump in 2020. Um, Now we're going to be going over to the tilt Democratic states, and I think I could see North Carolina sliding into this. category. Val Demings is, black. She can help um, increase the large, black population in the state and definitely get some increased voter turnout, which would, overwhelmingly help the Democrats in this scenario. And of course, being from Florida, Joe Biden already having quite a good standing in Florida, looking at polls recently, doing better than quite a lot of the Rust Belt states. And I think, Val Demings would, just shore up, a quiet swing area of the state, along Interstate 4, the middle areas, Orlando, Kissimmee. So, being in that location and, being considered rather moderate for Democrat standard, she'll definitely help secure Florida and definitely turn it from a teal Democratic state into a lean Democratic state if she was the nominee. However, I think the rest of all these states will be the most that the Democrats will gain. I think it will finish with 322 electoral votes for them. And I think the rest will be going, varying from like a lean margin to a tilt margin. I think Arizona is probably the only tilt, as well as Nebraska's second district. And Ohio and Georgia would probably fall into the lead margin because Georgia is still has quite a strong Stacey Abrams as governor. She got huge voter turnout. Whether there was a contention between Brian Kemp being Secretary of State for Georgia, there was always that. But in the end, I don't think that actually affected the outcome. It could have affected a few votes, but in the end, the margin was large enough for Kemp, so I don't think there was actually that much of an issue in the state. And Ohio as well, Joe Biden's not going to be able to, get any more added voters with the inclusion of Demings on the ticket. And Arizona, I think, Val Demings is not the exact sort of candidate who could appeal to these voters. Joe Biden again will not be getting any help from her being on the ticket in the southwestern portion of the country. Um, and I think Arizona, I think it, could be considered a toss up, but I think Arizona will definitely be going to, well, slightly be going to the Republicans in this possible outcome with Val Demings as VP nominee. And this would leave the electoral vote count as 322 for Joe Biden and Val Demings, and 216 for Trump and Pence. And yeah, so overall, another Democratic win, considering there's been a lot of shifts towards the Democrats in recent months. And I think, with Val Demings being former police chief, as well as a rising star in the Democratic Party, despite her age, she can definitely help secure votes in some of these, more, swing state and competitive areas of the country, and definitely shore up any, leads that Joe Biden has already created himself just by being the Democratic presidential nominee. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon.